Hello everybody and welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Yoshikazu Tanaka Shirogami or white number 2 Gyuto 240mm knife. So this knife has a 3-layer construction. The hard core cutting edge steel down the middle is Shirogami or white paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel. And the construction has a soft iron reactive cladding on either side of that core steel. So this is an all reactive blade. It will patina as you get going. It does have a blacksmith protective finish on the sides known as a kuruuchi finish, but we'll take a closer look at that. So it's an all-reactive blade. The weight and dimensions will vary a little bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 225 grams or 7.9 ounces, so definitely has some heft to it. Heat treats typically, doesn't really specify, but typically around 62, 63, around 62 Rockwell, maybe 61 for the steel most of the time. Handles, just good basic octagonal oak handle. Nice fit and finish on that. Not super polished on it. It's got a nice kind of grippy feel to it. The joint where they've sealed it into the handle with the tang is nicely done. Very tight. Looks like a nice glue-up job there. So nice fit and finish on that. Edge length, it's a little undersized, as are some makers. So this is 230 millimeters on the edge, or a little over 9 inches. Overall length with this handle is about 381 millimeters, or just about 15 inches. And then it has a fair amount of thickness on the spine. It's a pretty stiff blade, but about 3 millimeters thick is what I got back above the back of the blade here. About halfway down I got the same thing, and then it really doesn't have much distal taper to it. It pretty much maintains that thickness until you get to the grind, where it starts thinning down towards the tip and towards the edge. So you can see it thins down actually pretty nicely towards the tip. It's not wafer thin, but it does thin out. And it also gets reasonably thin back by the edge. So it's not super skinny knife, but it's got pretty good performance for the stiffness of it. Definitely got some heft to it. The balance point's going to be a little further forward. In my case, the balance point is right about there, which definitely is a little bit blade forward on a pinch grip, so it's going to have some heft to it. The height on this one's about 51 millimeters even, so plenty of height for clearance on the cutting board. You can see there's a nice notch here for your finger, rounded choil into the neck here. So nice, comfortable spot for a pinch grip. I guess let's get our beauty shot on this blade. So this really has a nice kind of old style Kasumi finish on it. You're not going to see a ton of demarcation until you start using the knife, but there's a real nice kind of horizontally finished Kasumi grind, finish to the blade road here. And then here's your kuruuchi finish on the sides. And then we have, looks to me to be hand engraved kanji. The kanji was done before the KU finish was applied, so it's darker there, but you can feel it when you run your fingers across it. Here's the left side of the blade. Again, the core steel's in there. You can kind of see the polish is a little different on it. It's a little more polished, but real nice Kasumi style finish on here. We've got, I think this is embossed, could be engraved, but either embossed or engraved on the left side as well. And then nice fit and finish on this. They took a lot of time to polish the choil. You can see that shine there, so it's rounded a bit, polished real nice. And I'm sorry, the spine, choil's back here. So the spine's polished really nicely. Took some time on that. They also took a lot of time on the choil back here to polish that. So nice and smooth. So real nice fit and finish on this. The grinds are nice and nice clean grinds on each side down the knife. Again, it's a stiff, stout blade. I put this maybe 5, 6 out of 10 on out of the box edge. It's got a decent out of the box edge on it. It definitely will get sharper. This steel will get as sharp as you could possibly make it with your skill level, whatever that might be. Let's take a look at the cutting board profile on this guy. Again, this is kind of a stout, heavy blade, but it's got a fairly high grind on it. So the performance is actually pretty good considering the stiffness of the blade. But here is your cutting board edge profile. It's got a nice smooth transition into a stop at the heel. I'd say about the back 40% of the knife, third maybe, 35-40% is just a nice flat section back there. So this will chop real nicely in the back section. It'll rock into that nicely. The tip's got a fair amount of belly on it here, so you can get pretty high on a rock here. This thing will pretty much rock as much as you want as far as height goes. So definitely this thing will rock well. It will chop real nice at the back. It's got a good, nice smooth curve to the edge profile. Tip draws, you'll have to raise the knife handle pretty high just because the way that belly is kind of aggressive there. But very nice profile, very usable profile overall. So if you're looking for something that's kind of old school, nice old style Kasumi finish on it, it's an all reactive blade, but real nice fit and finish, kind of a stiff stout blade, some weight to it, but yet that cuts pretty darn good. It's a nice package. So this is the Yoshikazu Tanaka Shitogami No. 2 Gyuto 240mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.